In the name of Allah, the Merciful and the Almighty, I would like to greet all the delegates here and our chairman, Ambassador Popov. This is a very important meeting that we're having today. I think we are having a very important discussion. It seems to me that there should be a shared approach to research. There are flows of information, there's an abundance of information. I think we've just heard some new aspects, some of the new aspects of our issues. It is very helpful. And I think we should use what we hear here more actively. As for journalism and mass media, when we speak of terrorism, we mainly imply armed groups, but it's not only armed militants who can be terrorists. We know the covert operations from terrorist organizations. We know the funding they get. We know the ideological campaigning they get. So terrorists usually need money to take root and get strong, and they use various means to obtain financial resources. And of course, we must prevent terrorists from influencing media, from buying journalists. There is one more aspect related to the issue I was talking about. I come from Egypt. As you know, Egypt is a special case. In Egypt, we are fighting terrorism on several fronts, and we are doing it single-handedly. I wish the world was aware of what is going on in Egypt. I would like to talk about someone who lives in the region, who lives in a Muslim country. And we know that extremist organizations, terrorist organizations, they sometimes before purges of society. So we must address our issue. In addressing our issues, we must keep in mind the specific features of the Muslim mentality. In our plans, we base on media reports and also on field studies, but they are often they are often politicized. For example, Reuters, the news agency, published a lot of materials and reports on terrorists, and once they published a mistaken and erroneous report regarding the murder of a young Italian man, where our healthcare minister was misquoted in this Reuters report. The Egyptian minister published a rebuttal, but Reuters did not reprint it, did not publish this rebuttal, did not withdraw or drop its story. Therefore, some of those media reports, they really are orchestrated by the intelligence, by secret services. Other reports are just biased. Usually, it is common notion that if Reuters should publish anything that is considered the final truth, that is considered absolutely correct and accurate. But in this case, this was the case where Reuters misreported on something, misquoted an Egyptian minister, and did not publish a rebuttal. So I would like to tell you that in Egypt we write a lot about terrorism. We cover the issues of terrorism, and we believe that terrorism is orchestrated and financed from abroad. But of course, we feel for all the Russian families who have lost their loved ones in the recent downing of the Russian airliner over the Sinai Peninsula in Egypt. And I would like to tell you that Russia is in the hearts of many Egyptians today. Prior to the latest revolution, the religious regime in our country, the religious government was steering our country toward a collapse, toward a catastrophe. And I don't know if you heard, but some of the anti-Morsi demonstrators, they sometimes would actually go to rallies chanting the name of President Putin. We believe that we are the two countries that are fighting terrorism both at home and internationally. We are jointly fighting the same enemy. We have a lot of experience of cooperation, which we have built up over generations. Since the Suez dam that was built in Russia and the Arab-Israeli wars, where the Soviet Union supported our country. And I would like to conclude by saying I wish that air traffic between our countries would resume, would be relaunched.